welcome to this week's video. We have looked at the artificial mounds before, but I want to return to Merlin's Mound to take a closer look and a brief look at one other artificial mound, making that one the fourth mound in Britain. Silbury Hill, the largest of the three mounds, close to many other monuments and walking distance from Avebury and the sanctuary. Hatfield Barrow, which is placed inside the Marden Henge. But what about Merlin's Mound? As we look at this mound, there doesn't seem to be any other monuments close by. Something I have often wondered, and when I did the video of these three mounds, someone else mentioned it. So looking at the other two mounds, why is there nothing around Merlin's Mound, or was there? The mound now sits on the grounds of Marlborough College, so permission is needed to visit the site. But there are areas you can walk to, which can give you a good view of the mound if you wish. The close-up footage that you see of the mound throughout this video is from a visit a few years ago, when I got permission to visit and film the mound. So let's have a look at the history of the mound. The construction of this artificial mound really shows the workmanship of the Neolithic and Bronze Age builders. In 1067, William the Conqueror assumed control of Marlborough area and assigned the Bishop of Salisbury to construct the wooden moat and bailey castle on the mound. The nearby Savernake Forest was made into a royal hunting ground, and Marlborough Castle became a royal residence. Later, the wooden castle was strengthened with stone around 1175. Between 1227 and 1272, Henry III invested in the renovation of the castle. After his death, Marlborough lost favour as a royal residence. The castle fell into disrepair after it was no longer used from 1370. It was observed to be ruinous after 1541. Edward VI then passed it on to the Seymour family, as he had relations with them through his mother Jane Seymour. The Seymours excavated a cavern and built a flint grotto and a spiral path to the summit. In the 18th century, Lady Hertford incorporated the mound into the gardens of the stately home. There was a cascade and a canal fed from the water tower at the top of the mound, and three pools outside the entrance of the grotto, reflecting sunlight inside from the surface of the water. This shell-decorated grotto is the only remaining relic of these features. After the Duke of Somerset on that branch died, the stately home became a coaching house, the Castle Inn, which was operating from 1751. At the height of the trade, 42 coaches passed through the Castle Inn each day, as Marlborough was conventionally located on the road from London to Bath. In the 19th and 20th centuries, the mound served as the site for a water tank for Marlborough College, established in 1843, which has since been removed. It was suggested that Merlin's Mound was connected to Silbury Hill by Richard C. Hall around 1821. In 1892, a publication of excavations at Marlborough College included an antler found on the slopes of the mound. Additional antlers were found in the years afterwards by the schoolmaster at the college, and fuelled the original case of prehistoric origins of the mound, in opposition to the idea that it was a burial site for Merlin or constructed solely to accommodate the Norman castle. But it wasn't until 2008 when core samples were taken by Dr. John Leary and his team, and the true age of Marlborough Mound was confirmed as 2450 BC, making it the same age as Silbury Hill. But was there any other monuments closer to Merlin's Mound? What we do know is that there is a possible stone circle at Clackford. Westwood is close by, where at least one of the stones from Stonehenge came from. There is also a few long barrows in the area, including the better known Long Barrow Devil's Den, which then leads to Fifield Down, or otherwise called the Valley of the Stones. It is also worth mentioning that the Wansdyke is close by, which is thought to have been built by the native Britons as a defence measure against the Anglo-Saxons, but that is just a thought. There are some people who believe that the Wansdyke could have started its life a lot earlier. I have to admit, I didn't think there was anything Neolithic Bronze Age the other side of the mound heading towards Marlborough. In fact, you have to go quite a distance to find any monument, but it seems I could be wrong. In 1997, excavations happened at an area known as Duck's Meadow, close to the River Kennet within Marlborough, and was carried out by the Cotswolds Archaeology Trust. In total, 11 trenches were dug and material was removed. 3 of the trenches, which were towards the southeast corner of the site, in the form of late Neolithic, early Bronze Age pottery and flint, within pits and possible post holes. This has been recorded on the Wiltshire and Swindon Historical Environment Record as a possible settlement site. So we do know that there is a strong chance that they settled in the area, but sad to say there is little chance of finding out if there's any monuments, as the area is now built on. But there is also a chance there might not have been, and if we look at the land around the mound, could possibly explain why. The mound is built on what was a floodplain. In fact, driving into Marlborough during periods of heavy rain, you can see the fields flooding. We also know, thanks to William Stukely around 1720, where Stukely mentions that the ditch that was once around the mound did fill up because of the springs around. William Stukely, the antiquarian, believed a Roman fort once occupied the sites where the mound was located based on the finding of Roman coins. We know that Silbury Hill has plenty of springs around it, which we can still see today. But if we take a look at the core samples that were taken that dated the mound, it also shows that the area did in fact flood at least twice, likely while the mound was being built, which shows how the water was so important to the Neolithic people and how important this site was to them, that they carried on building the mound even during floods. Why Merlin's Mound was built, we don't know. This is possibly a good site for a marking spot, which is just one thought, or an idea that was put to me that it could have been a marker but also a gateway, which makes sense when you consider its position in the Valley of Two Hills. But when it comes to other monuments close to the mound, we will never know. With finding out that there is a settlement not far away from the mound, I personally wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't. But the chances of knowing now is pretty slim, for surely any possible monument would likely be under the town, unless, like some do believe, that the stones that come from Westwood that are now part of Stonehenge were in fact from a lost monument. But I should add that this is just a belief by some, and there is no evidence that they did come from a lost monument. And let's not forget the idea that it was built as a gateway, which adds another interesting thought about the impressive mound. So as mentioned at the start of the video, there are 3 artificial mounds in Wiltshire. Silbury Hill is the tallest at 30 metres high, Merlin's Mound height is 19 metres high, and Hatfield Barrow, which is the smallest of the 3 at 15 metres high. These 3 mounds are in Wiltshire, and I will add a link to the video about the distance of these 3 mounds. Thanks to a group on Facebook called the British Long Barrows and Associated Monuments. I will put a link to this group in the description below. It was in this group that I found out about the Gop, also known as Gop Cairn, which is a Neolithic mound in Wales. The mound measures approximately at the base and stands around 12 metres high. Unlike the Wiltshire mounds, it seems that it has been built mainly of stone and block of local limestone. Excavations of the mound in 1886 revealed no inner chambers or burials of any sort, although flint arrowheads were found in abundance. Like the Wiltshire mounds, it is uncertain why Neolithic people put the time and energy into building these mounds. Was it astronomical observations, as some have speculated, or religious site, or even intended for defence? To the southwest of the hill are caves which were used as burial sites in Neolithic times, and the area around the hill is further burial mounds. The other big difference between this mound and the Wiltshire mounds is that it is built on top of a hill, and the Wiltshire mounds are built in valleys. Is there a link between these mounds? Perhaps at the moment these mounds remain a mystery from the Neolithic Bronze Age era. There are a few other mounds that could be Neolithic, but I will look into them more in a future video. But there is one I will mention, and that is Knowlton's Great Barrow, not far from Knowlton's Henge. The Heritage Gateway website has it marked as a burial round barrow or mound. If this is a mound, it is a lot smaller than the ones we have seen before, as it is about 3 metres high, and it's part of a group of round barrows. But I cannot find that this great barrow has ever been excavated, so it is unknown if it's a barrow or in fact another artificial mound. So this leaves a big question. How many unexpected round barrows are there which are in fact artificial mounds? This is something I will look closer into in a future video. The construction of Neolithic sites remains a captivating mystery that continues to intrigue archaeologists and historians. Dating to a time when advanced tools and technologies were limited, these artificial mounds pose a puzzling enigma. The communal effort required for such endeavours raises questions about the social organisations, cultural beliefs, and the technology of Neolithic communities. Various theories abound, from ritualistic practices and astronomical alignments to practical consideration. Despite ongoing research and advancements in archaeology techniques, the exact purposes and methods behind the constructions of these Neolithic wonders remain elusive, contributing to the enduring allure of these ancient sites. If you have any thoughts to share or questions to explore, please join the conversation in the comments below. Thank you for being part of this journey into our history. Before I go, I would like to give a really big thank you to Graham Allen, who has helped with this project. I would also like to say a really big thanks to the viewers and subscribers of the channel, to the Patreons and to those who have bought me coffee. This channel wouldn't be the same without you. Your support has made it all worthwhile, and I'm grateful beyond words. So if you're new here, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more contents like this. Also click that notification bell so you never miss an update. Until the next time, keep questioning, keep learning, keep embracing the stories that shape us, and stay safe.